Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. I was going to do another sorry. I was going to do another preview. The last 4 weeks we've done previews to movies coming up. So did Man of Steel as a preview to The Flash, which wasn't necessary in the end. I did Transformers the movie 1986, or 1984, was it? 1986 I think it was. In preview to Rise of the Beasts. I watched Into the Spider-Verse as a preview to Across the Spider-Verse. And I watched F9 in preview to Fast X. Today I could have watched Indiana Jones, any of the 4 movies. I could have watched Mission Impossible. It was going to be 6. I might still do that. And I could have watched any Nolan movie, because obviously he's got Oppenheimer coming up. Obviously all his movies are, they're all their own thing apart from The Dark Knight. That's 3 movies, but apart from that, it goes to like a different story every time, not really connected, but it's still good to watch one of his old movies before watching his new one. So I could have done that, but that would have been very random. It could have been anything that I could have watched. He's made a lot of amazing movies. I think the most relevant ones would have been Dunkirk. Yeah, just Dunkirk, I think. That would have been the most relevant one to Oppenheimer. So I guess I'll skip on that, because like it's just, nothing's connected anyway. For Indiana Jones, I think I'll skip on that as well, even though I love all 4 movies. I don't know which one I should watch to preview the new one. I don't feel like I need to watch any of them to preview the new one, if I'm being honest. So I might still watch Mission Impossible Fallout though. I might do that next week, we'll see. But now we are watching a Guy Ritchie movie. I quite like him. I have not watched all of his movies, which is a shame, because a lot of his movies actually sound interesting, and the fact I haven't seen most of them is not good. I'm watching one today, The Covenant. It follows Sergeant John Kinley, who on his last tour of duty... I can't speak or read. Sergeant John Kinley, who on his last tour of duty in Afghanistan, is teamed with local interpreter Ahmed, who risks his own life to carry an injured John across miles of grueling terrain to safety. I see. So there's an Afghan interpreter who's working with them, and he is risking his life to get this soldier home, essentially, while enemies try to kill him. Well, that sounds pretty brutal. War movies are very tense. Obviously, war in itself is very brutal and very depressing, but movies about it are very intense. I prefer watching movies about World War I and II, because those are just more interesting history-wise. But I am looking forward to seeing this one, and I like Guy Ritchie, so I'm looking forward to his take on war movie, because I don't think he's done one. I mean, let me look through his movies. I got it on Google just now. I've not gone through it yet. His #1 most well-ranked movie, his best reviewed movie is this one that I'm about to watch. Is it recency bias? We shall find out. The Gentleman is second. I love The Gentleman. The Gentleman is such a good movie. I love it so much. All the characters, the twists, it's so good. If you've never seen The Gentleman, please watch it. It's incredible. It came out like a year ago, 2 years ago, I think. No, 2020. So 3 years ago. That's very long. He made Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Haven't seen that. Haven't even heard of it. He made Snatch. I actually own Snatch on 4K. Haven't watched it yet. I've owned it on 4K for over a year. Have not watched it yet. So I need to get on that. Apparently it's similar to The Gentleman, so I need to get on that. Sherlock Holmes. Robert Downey Jr. movies. I like them. I didn't love them, but I liked them. I thought they were alright. So he directed those. I don't know that one. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Again. Didn't know he directed that. Loved the movie. Man from U.N.C.L.'s very good. Guy Ritchie directed that. I forgot about that. Wrath of Man, that came out 2 years ago. I need to see that. That's also on Prime Video, and I'm watching The Covenant on Prime Video. So I need to watch Wrath of Man, because I like Jason Statham. Rock and Roller, I've heard of it, haven't seen it. It looks familiar though. Sherlock Holmes, yeah, okay, made the second one as well. Aladdin, the remake, I didn't watch that. Didn't watch the original Aladdin, to be honest. So I feel like the only Disney remake that worked was The Jungle Book, and that was like the first remake, wasn't it? Operation Fortune, Ruse de Guerre, Jason Statham. I haven't heard of this one, but oh, it came out recently. It came out this year. What? I don't remember this. I mean, I'll consider it, but it's not reviewed very highly. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. That was Guy Ritchie. Yeah, that wasn't a good movie, if I'm being honest. But that was Guy Ritchie. It came out like 2017, that one. They cast a good actor, but it wasn't a good movie. Revolver, haven't seen that one. Swept Away, haven't seen that one. It sounds scary though. Ah, okay, that's all of them. So I've not seen all of them, but the ones I've seen, Sherlock Holmes, Man from U.N.C.L.E., and The Gentleman, liked all of those, especially Gentleman. I love that one. Anyway, I've spoken too long. Let's watch The Covenant and I'll let you know what I think. Prime Video is now the only streaming service that I have left. I've cancelled Netflix, I've cancelled Disney Plus. I only had that one because it was free my phone network, but not anymore. I had a 6-month free trial basically. I've only got Prime now, and I have Prime because of the deliveries. Like, it's very convenient, and they got a whole streaming service on top of it, so it's very nice. Anyway, I've done like a 5-minute intro. Let me press play, but you can't see it because of copyright. I'm sorry. Also, Guy Ritchie's not the only reason I'm watching this. Jake Gyllenhaal is starring. That's huge. Also, like, I want to try and incorporate new releases on streaming services into this Movie Monday series. I think that'd be a good idea. Like, for example, when Netflix movie releases on Friday, I watch it on Monday. Like, that could be a good thing. Extraction 2 is out, so I could watch that at some point. Could have watched that today, actually, but I chose this. But, like, if Amazon Prime, Netflix, if they release a movie, then, hey, I'll get Netflix and I'll watch it, and I'll do a video on it, Movie Monday. I feel like it could fit quite well. And it'll fill in the gaps, because some weeks I'm just like, which movie do I watch? Like, which would be a good movie to watch for this series? Sometimes the best ones to watch are the ones that are on streaming services that just released just for streaming. I think that's a good idea to put into this series. I love this scene, I love this movie already. Jake Gyllenhaal's interviewing someone to be his interpreter, right? And he's like, are you good with cars? And Ahmed's like, yeah, anything with an engine. And he points at his trunk, not his trunk, sorry, he points at the front of his car. He's just like, what's this, Ahmed? He's like, that's an engine, sir. It's just, the delivery of that line was so funny. It's like when, it's like that tweet. I don't know if you've seen the tweet. If you have Twitter, you might have seen it. It's a viral tweet, right? Someone said they were an expert on identifying birds, and then someone replied with a specific bird saying, what's this then? And he's like, yep, that's definitely a bird. It's what I am weird for thinking of that when I saw that scene. I'm 40 minutes in. This movie is crazy. It is pretty mad. So Ahmed, the way they sell him, like, he could be like someone who could, who might not be trustworthy at the start of the movie, but then you realize actually he is on their side. He's on the sides of the US soldiers. So he has his own problem with the enemy. Not going to mention, just in case, because YouTube gets a bit funny about mentioning certain things, especially real life things. But there's a certain enemy in Afghanistan. So Ahmed has a problem with them because they took something from him. Let's just put it that way, without spoiling too much. So he's an interpreter, but also he wants his own revenge, as you find out soon. He's also trying to, like, get out. He's got a wife who's pregnant. He's, he needs the money to try and leave Afghanistan as well. So he's got his own personal reasons too, but, like, he's definitely, like, solid. Like, he's trustworthy. Someone who wasn't trustworthy was one of the Afghan soldiers that was with them. He was a traitor. He led them into an ambush, or tried to. What happened was Ahmed found out, like, he investigated. I wouldn't say he investigated, but, like, the Afghan soldier told them, like there's, I mean, he didn't tell them, someone else, like an informant, told them there's these places where they're having the explosives, right? And they were looking at a map, and the Afghan soldier said, that's the shortcut, but that's not the right way. The road's not there anymore. The rain destroyed it. We should turn right, go this way. Ahmed figured out it was to lead them into an ambush, and he saved 8 men's lives that day by, I'm talking like it's a true story, but, like, it's a fictional story, but he saved their lives, all those soldiers' lives, just by realizing that they had a traitor amongst them. Fast forward, they find the second location, a mine, and they get ambushed, and let's just say tragedy happens, and now the two of them are separated, and they are together now. Jake Gyllenhaal, the main soldier, and his interpreter Ahmed, they are now trying to get to safety, in enemy territory, and the enemy has been charged with hunting them down and taking them alive. On top of that, they had, or were supposed to have, air supports It's arrived way too late. It's arrived after they left the area. That's brilliant. They'd left the area and all the enemy had been chasing them away anyway. So by the time air support got there, there was no one there. So part of this was like watching a Call of Duty mission. There was just two of them going for enemy territory, going stealth mode, taking people out one by one. That's the most Call of Duty thing ever. Then you get to the part where the synopsis actually mentions where the soldier's wounded. And he gets wounded, and now Ahmed has got to protect him while he's wounded at the same time. So like he doesn't have the backup that the sergeant normally would give him. So now the movie just got a lot more interesting because they're in very dangerous territory. No one knows where they are apart from the enemy. And somehow, even though one of them's injured and, you know, really badly injured, somehow they've got to get through in a desert where it's both too hot and too cold. It's Mission Impossible. Also, that gave me an idea, like, speaking of Call of Duty, there's a lot of video game movies that haven't worked, but I feel like a Call of Duty movie could work. And I just saw a tweet saying, gotta make a Modern Warfare movie. And I agree, like, that's the best Call of Duty franchise to adapt. Modern Warfare would be, if the story is right, that could be an incredible movie or a movie series. Please. There are a lot of video game movies that don't particularly work, but Call of Duty can work as a serious video game movie. I would love to see it, that's what I'm saying. Although it is rather fortunate that, you know, not everyone in that area likes the enemy. There are other people, other civilians that also do not like the enemy. So they do find a little bit of help along the way. But it's still Mission Impossible. Okay, so this went differently to what I expected. Half the movie is how I've explained it. There's a whole hour left and it's completely changed to something completely different. So the storyline of getting to safety is like half the movie. There's still a 1 hour aftermath, and it's interesting. You know what, I'm not gonna spoil anything beyond that. And to be honest, what I will say is it's really sad. It's really sad. Like, the first half's really intense. Everything after that is just, I mean, I've still got 45 minutes left of the movie. This last 15 minutes has been really depressing. Like, damn. It's good storytelling though. It makes you feel real emotion. Anthony Starr's in this. Homelander. Pretty brutal in The Boys, but he's a bit more verbally brutal in this one. But I'm happy to see him. He's a good actor. And also, I call him Bjorn Ironside because that's what he plays in the Vikings, but his actual name is Alexander Ludwig. He's in this as well. Good cast. So I'm curious, like, the way they filmed it is pretty interesting. I thought I'd check, is it a true story? It's not. It's the main two characters are not real people, they're fictional. But apparently it is inspired by some relationships and some events that happened during that war. So yeah, while it's not a true story and it's nowhere near accurate, it is based on similar relationships and maybe similar events, but I doubt it happened exactly like this. But yeah, it's not a true story, but there's elements of real life events that happened. So yeah, I just thought I'd research it and I thought I'd relay it to you. The ending they set up is something so tense. There's 18 minutes left, that includes credits, so even less than that. I am both, I wouldn't say thrilled, but I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, but at the same time I'm scared. I'm terrified of what's going to happen because the worst things could happen, or the best things could happen. This is war. But damn, what an ending they've set up. This is better than I expected. And the movie's over. I like the way this movie went and how they portrayed the characters. The main two characters, both the soldier and the interpreter, they were both good men just trying to do right by either their families or each other. They developed quite a friendship. And at the end there was quite a message. Ever since what happened in 2021, a lot of interpreters over there got murdered with their families, and a lot went into hiding. You know, a lot that, you know, are trapped and just cannot get out because of the tragic stuff that happened a couple of years ago. So they put a message about that, and I guess that's what inspired this movie. And they showed photos, real life photos of interpreters with soldiers, that because there were plenty of those when they went over there for that war. So they showed a few of those pictures, blurred out a few faces, probably to protect them, I assume, because the ones they blurred are still alive. That's just what I'm assuming. But But yeah, there was a message behind that. Like, yeah, they showed a good movie, but also there are people like Ahmed who are good men who just wanted to work for the US Army, and you know, that a lot of tragic things happened to them and they didn't get very lucky. But yeah, aside from the message, it was a good movie. Good storytelling, good character building, and it was very interesting, and also very sad as well. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll give it a rating of 8.5 out of 10. I normally give 8 out of 10 as a solid. It's a solid, good movie. I feel like this is a bit better than solid, but not quite a 9. I give nothing a 10, so that's the thing. Some movies I get 9.5, but for me, no film is perfect. But this one, for me, 8.5 I think is a good rating. 8.5 out of 10. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see you.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it